This is Oskar van Deventer's Sloppy Cube, mass-produced by Calvin's. So let's have a look at it. So the cube is effectively a shape mod of another puzzle that Oskar also originally built, which he 3D printed from a design by Bram Cohen, and that was called the melty-D puzzle. D because it was the fourth melty puzzle that they built together. But that puzzle wasn't cubic in shape. So this is just a version of the melty-D that has been transformed into a cube. And you can see why it's called a sloppy cube, because the angles between the layers are not 90 degrees, and so it ends up looking kind of sloppy. But in some ways it's less sloppy than it appears, because the faces are actually all identical to each other, so it's not as if these shapes are random. The thing that I've heard, which is interesting about this, is it's supposed to be quite difficult just to get it scrambled. So let's see how true that is. Well, you can see immediately why that's going to be the case, because having made one turn on this face, I can either turn it so that the edges line up, in which case that's clearly not going to turn very easily. It can turn, but I'm sort of forcing it. Or I can line it up so that the cuts line up here, but then this cut doesn't line up on the other side, so it's still not going to be easy to turn. Similarly, yeah, the same with that one. How about that one? Yeah, same with that one. So basically, if I do any of these turns, it's not obvious how you can make a second turn. Ah, here's one. Okay, so right, so now I've got this one lined up along the cut here, and that cut is also lined up, so that means we can make a second turn. But I mean, we're not going to easily make a third turn here. It sort of starts because this cut lines up, but then the cut over on the other side does not line up, so you hit a barrier. So yes, it seems to be true that just scrambling this cube is difficult. Can I do this? Yeah, so having made this, so I've made two turns here, right? The first turn was this, which allows me to line this cut up, and then I've made this turn. And if I just shift this ever so slightly, oops, was it like that? I can get a bit of a turn there, but see it starts to turn this layer, and then no, it just doesn't want to keep going. I can feel, you know, if I try and turn this, I'm trying to put this bigger piece into the space of a smaller piece, and it gets stuck quite quickly. And if I try and go the other way, then I'm pressing that against that. So let's just see. No. So far I've managed 2 turns. It's not very promising. Oh, there we go. Here I can make a third turn. I wonder if it's always got to be double moves. Can I make a fourth turn somewhere? Yeah, again, as I try and turn this, you can see I'm pulling the puzzle apart and trying to make this turn. It doesn't want to go. And it can't go this way because this white piece hits up against that yellow piece, and I can't move the yellow piece out of the way. So by fiddling with it a bit more, I don't quite know how, but I managed to get it into a state that I think I would call a little bit scrambled, in the sense that I don't know how to get it back to being solved. So I've got this corner here in the right place but twisted, and its corresponding edge up there. And if I try and do the natural things, for example, if I try and pair this up here, now I can't turn it. can do this, and then I've got a different sort of F2L case where I want to pair this up with this, but there's not much that I seem to be able to do to pair them up. So I think there are two interesting questions though here. One is, can I solve it from this state? And at the moment I haven't figured out how, but the other is, can I scramble it any further from this state? Because it's kind of a little bit scrambled, but you know, a whole bunch of the cube, this is sort of, you know, 3/4 of the way towards being solved. So the question is, can I do more? And I can, look, it's okay, so this move I can do, and then this move I can do, but now I get stuck again. See, the interesting difference between these types of moves that I'm doing here and the moves that got me to this state are that this state, it's not clear how you can reverse back out of it, whereas having done, you know, something like this, whatever it was, you can sort of immediately see what you need to do to get back. Another point, of course, is that in this state, I have it back into a cube shape. Being in a cube shape doesn't mean you're necessarily any closer to having it solved, but it does make it easier to make turns. I think every turn works when it's cube shaped, right? Yeah, must be true. Okay, so since I don't think I can scramble it any further from here, or at least I haven't figured out how, I'm going to see if I can solve it. Somehow I need to twist this corner and ideally pair it up with its corresponding edge. So I think another way to characterize the nature of this cube is, it's not just difficult to solve, it's difficult to get from one state to any other state that isn't just a couple of 2 or 3 moves away, and in some cases even just 1 move away. And so naturally that means it's difficult both to scramble and to solve. This is so strange. I feel like I've exhausted all the possibilities, but I haven't, of course, because what I haven't tried is sort of non-natural moves. I'm trying to solve it like I would solve a normal Rubik's Cube at this point, but I don't think that's the right way to go here. Having said that, I don't know what is the right way to go. Back where I was. Probably. Really? I'm back here again? I feel like I'm doing different things, but it's not really achieving anything. Alright, so there we go. I can very comfortably say that it is possible to scramble this puzzle, and then it's very difficult to solve it once you have. I haven't even scrambled it very far and I'm completely stuck. So there we go. So that's Oscar's sloppy cube. I hope you've enjoyed watching me struggle with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.